hope you know. And a tip from a bowling alley worker means a search for scores of students who may share the same sickness.
Ghost Story Sports and Weather up next.
For pizza emergencies handled in the privacy of your own home, call emergency delivery at Godfather's Pizza. What are you waiting for?
KOMO Radio AM 1000 has a contest that makes it simple to win $10,000 or a trip to Paris. But you have to remember to turn on KOMO Radio. Thursday morning, set your alarm for 7:20. Then, if I pull the year you were born out of this bowl, call me, and if I answer, you win 10 grand. You try again at 8:20, and you could win a trip for two to Paris on American Airlines. Now, I just have to remember to answer the phone.
KOMO's $10,000 easy money giveaway. Listen Thursday and win.
Are you embarrassed by your child's table manners? Are you uncomfortable in formal or social situations?
One of the nation's leading masters of etiquette, Marjabelle Stewart, will join us tomorrow to teach us all the things we need to know in the 80s about manners.
And I'm going to Air Express your mailbag right into the show and read some great stuff you've written to me. And that'll all happen tomorrow right here on Northwest Afternoon.
Northwest Afternoon, weekdays at 3. Wheel at 7, Jeopardy at 7:30 on KOMO TV4.
Now, live from Seattle, KOMO 4 News, 6:30 update.
And topping the update tonight, if you're anxious to sell your house, be careful. You could wind up like dozens of local homeowners who've been cheated out of hundreds of thousands of dollars. Federal agents say several local real estate operators are renting or selling homes they don't really own. KOMO's Brooke Stanford says tonight the victims of these scams are demanding some action.
How can you stop somebody that puts on that good of a show?
Julie Gunning and her husband started buying this home near Puyallup 9 months ago. The agent told them a combination of rent and monthly payments would eventually give them title to the house. The agent collected the rent, but never paid a nickel to the mortgage company.
All the money that we've put into it and worked for is just gone into this man's pocket. What do you do? I mean,
Julie has a list of 21 people who've been taken in by this scam. Most are people anxious to sell. The dealer gets title of the house by offering to take over the payments. He rents it to somebody else and pockets the rent for a year or more without making any payments himself. Eventually, the original homeowner who thought he was off the hook gets a rude awakening.
they have to come up with money, resell the house, or totally go into foreclosure. And I mean, it's ruined hundreds of people for this. You know, it's crazy.
The U.S. Attorney's Office is investigating as many as 10 such scams locally. They have some advice for people who are over-anxious to sell.
Well, if you see an individual looks like he's in too big of a hurry to try to assume your home and there's no cash involved, take your time, maybe contact a lawyer or ask for some credit references. Check the person out a little bit so you don't wind up getting stung.
You've got people calling up saying, I own the house, give me this, give me that. You don't know who owns what. You know, who are you supposed to believe anymore? You put your faith in somebody and you turn around and they're stabbing you in the back with a knife and smiling and waving to you with their other hand. What can you do to these people?
Local law enforcement agencies have formed a task force to deal with shady real estate operators, but they admit it's not easy, and most of them are still operating.
I mean, it's not fair for someone like this to still be operating after all the people that they've hurt and everything else, taking people's money, losing their homes, putting families in the street, literally putting them in the street, and they just keep going.
Brooke Stanford, KOMO 4 News.
A former Seattle couple recently became the first local people to be indicted for this type of real estate scam. They're accused of 36 counts of fraud involving $650,000 worth of home loans.
Jim, this could be a test of strength between one court system and another in Toppenish. Convicted salmon scam defendant David So Happy Sr. has begun his trial in an Indian tribal courtroom on the Yakama Indian Reservation. A federal court found So Happy and 4 other Yakama Indians guilty of poaching salmon. But now So Happy's case will be heard by a jury of Indians. If the Indian court finds him innocent, there could be a standoff between the tribal court and the federal government, which found him guilty.
I think the standoff is a political question, and I think this tribe will get the support of Senator Evans and the support of Senator Adams and other people of goodwill who feel that the federal government made a very serious mistake.
Now, David So Happy's Indian trial is expected to last the next couple of weeks. Well, here is a scandal the state government says it will not tolerate. The state is suing a Hollywood movie company for allegedly failing to pay some of the Washington residents who worked as extras on a film shot on Whidbey Island last summer. The film was titled Indian Summer. The state says that Dixie Lane Productions and director David Brady packed up and left Whidbey without paying $340,000 in wages. Money on the minds of lots of other Washington residents, money they have to pay the IRS.
Yes, it is tax time again, and KOMO's Mike Nesteroff joins us live now, where tax preparers are once again working overtime. Michael, it is that time of year.
Unfortunately so. We're here at the Denny Way office of H&R Block, and as you can see, every desk and every chair here is filled with people. It's T-minus 55 hours and counting to the Wednesday midnight deadline for taxes, and a lot of people have good reason for waiting till the last minute.
Okay, I'm coming right back. H&R Block, would you hold, please?
At the Ballard H&R Block office, it's not just the phones ringing off the hook, but the adding machines working overtime as well. These days, more people wait till the last minute to have their taxes done. In part, it's because getting the necessary information takes longer, but mostly it's because people owe.
I just had to come up with the money to pay it before I came in, so I figured there wasn't any point coming in until I could afford to pay it.
But you're waiting till the end, though, huh?
Yeah, because I owe. I owe money. Yeah, I'm waiting till the end, as usual. Hopefully I won't next year. This is a madhouse.
Bob Fulmer agrees with the madhouse characterization. He's the manager for the Ballard office, which will see 4,000 people this tax season.
Yeah, I just finished an 80-hour week last week. I don't know what it'll be this week.
You'll be glad when Wednesday comes and it's all over with, huh?
Yeah, that's sure.
There are some rewards, though. Jack and Pat Ribley had a present for Bob Fulmer.
No, I think we're getting a little bit back.
So that's a surprise?
Yes, it is a surprise.
One of those pleasant surprises.
A very pleasant surprise. And besides that, he's really a nice man.
Yes. We usually don't get money back until we met him. He's honest.
Thank you so much.
Saved us $1,500
I'm embarrassed, but thank you. I appreciate this. Well, have a good year, and we'll see if we can't save you at least as much next year.
Great.
I guess we should all be so lucky, huh? Well, anyway, tax offices are going to be working, burning the midnight oil tonight and tomorrow because these are the two busiest days for them. And then Wednesday will be equally busy with people coming to pick up their returns. And who knows, there might be some good news for some people.
It always happens. Thanks, Michael. The